CJ, talk about your touchdown catch. Pretty good grab, looked like.
Yeah, it was definitely a touchdown catch too, in my opinion. No, yeah, we had practiced that play a lot in practice. Honestly, it wasn't even the coverage that we thought it was going to be. So when I came out of the break, I was kind of, thinking that he was going to throw it to Sammy because that was his progression. Threw it to me anyway. Yeah, it was a big catch, and we ended up scoring that drive, so I was fine with it.
You thought you scored?
Oh yeah, for sure. I was trying to tell Jamie to wait before he called the next play, but that's not how we really operate in our offense. So.
CJ, why is this team under Coach Malzahn been so good at making halftime adjustments?
I think it's just once we start to get a feel for the game, once we know, kind of what's working for us, that's what we go to. There's no real major adjustments that go on from our game plan. It's just we start running what we know is working. We start putting the pace on them, and that's, I guess, the second half is where Coach Russell and all the off-season stuff and work that we've done kind of really plays in to effect. So I think that also helps.
When you're tied like you were Saturday, do guys get up and say stuff to fire the other guys up, or how does that usually work?
I think, in this instance, there wasn't really much to be said. We knew we were hurting ourselves. We had 2 3rd-and-1s, one where, I missed the block, and the second where they did a stunt, and they kind of, timed it up perfectly. So we knew we were hurting ourselves offensively, and defensively we knew that they just needed to calm down and, kind of eliminate the big plays that they were giving up. And once that happened, once we, the only thing that we were saying in the locker room was we got this. We were fine. We just need to relax, calm down, stop hurting ourselves, and minimize the big plays that we were giving up.
See, we hear about accountabilities for fumbles and things like that during a game, during a practice. Is there an accountability when you miss a block like that?
Yeah, there are. We do accountabilities for literally everything, misassignments, whatever. So it just varies on, I guess, whatever Coach Fountain decides that he wants us to do.
So what you had to do?
I did 20 up downs.
CJ, I don't know if you may not have seen the replay of the game from SEC Network, but Gus's reaction when you came off the sidelines, what did you say after that? Because he was pointing at you the whole time you came off, and you said something, and Gus flipped out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I knew he was pointing. I didn't even look up because I didn't even want to look at his reaction because it was a base play that we had worked a lot, and Reese made a call. I just stepped down too much, and that's all I said. I said I stepped down. I took 2 steps down instead of 1, and he was just like, oh. Yeah, he said it in halftime. He said it during the sideline a few times too. I was like, okay, Coach, I promise. If we run it again, it's not gonna happen. We ended up running the play later in the game, and it didn't happen, so that was a positive. But he wasn't too happy about that at all.
CJ, were you surprised by what Melvin Ray did, or did you kind of see that coming?
No, not at all. I don't think anybody was surprised with it. Even coming back in and watching film, Coach Malzahn kind of said, what do you guys think about Melvin's practice, like how he's been practicing? And he's been practicing lights out. He's having to learn 2 positions, and anytime he goes in and practice, he's blocking as hard as he can. He's doing everything right. So I don't think his performance is really shocking to anybody, at least offensively.
Where do you feel most comfortable? They're using you H-back, tight end, slot. Where do you feel most comfortable?
I feel a lot more comfortable at the tight end kind of now. Being able to work with Coach Grimes and the offensive line, and kind of being in, Coach Fountain knows 3-back and tight end, hand down. So kind of hand down, I'm getting a lot more comfortable, working the run fits, even though that one play. But it's something I'm kind of making my home around, something that I really worked hard on this offseason, and I'm starting to feel my way around that spot.
Any reason why you worked on hand down so much this summer?
Yeah, I kind of knew, Brandon and I are going to split 3-back every now and then, but I knew that, he had been doing a really good job at it. And there are times where we're going to be both in at 3-back with our personnel and stuff, but, I kind of wanted to make it an emphasis that, last year we had to move Sean over to tight end at times to, for that blocking position, and, I kind of wanted it to be where I could do the same. And then if we pick up that first down, we can, pace a different play if we need to, you know, pace a pass play if need be. So Coach Malzahn kind of talked to me about, you know, perfecting my craft at hand down tight end, and was something I was really adamant about.
I'm curious for you to give me a little I guess, a roundup of what Duke was able to do playing on the inside and the difficulties of doing that, especially for a guy that, like him, you might actually see on the outside more.
In terms of like how, what do you mean?
How he's performing on the inside there, and what kind of matchup problems he presents.
Oh, it's an awful matchup problem for the defense. Because he's so fast that if you try to put a linebacker on him, it's not really fair for the linebacker, and he's so physical that I mean, you're gonna have to get a big safety on him, because if not, then he's just gonna bully him. And you know, that happened the entire game really, and so yeah, it's hard to match him up on the inside, and then when we do throw him on the outside against a corner, it's kind of like, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna go deep and beat him deep, or you know, just out-muscle him? So yeah, he definitely showed that he's a matchup problem and something that defenses are definitely gonna have to take account for.
I understand Nick only played the half, but he only threw 6 passes. Do you see him throwing the ball more as the season goes on?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that you know, we kind of had 2 different sets going into the game just because we knew some things about the defense. And case in point, his touchdown run, we had practiced that play a lot during practice. We knew it would be there. So we knew that, you know, the defense would kind of be a little different when Nick came in, to where we would be able to run a certain amount of plays. But, you know, I definitely think that, you know, we have complete faith in his passing ability. He's able to do, I mean, incredible things with his feet to open up, you know, passes. So, yeah, I think you'll definitely see a little more of his arm.
For all the pass catchers on this team, having Sammy and now Duke step up, does it make you feel like, okay, my time's coming, knowing that they're going to get so much attention?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, we do, like you just said, we have so many passing threats. Duke, Sammy, Melvin. People are gonna be like, well, Mel's in the game. We have to, you know, take account for him. We still have Ricardo, Marcus Davis. I mean, we have a plethora of receivers who, anytime they're in the game, you have to be like, all right, what's gonna happen? So I definitely think that, you know, that'll spread the ball out even for Brandon and myself, because they'll be looking more at the receivers, and then we can slip out and you know, make some big time catches. But I mean, until our number's called, we're just gonna keep blocking and, you know, wait for our opportunity.